What's up, Mogul Makers? It's your boy Antonio Cook, Mr. Mogul Maker himself. Look, if you're a business owner and you want to take control of the credit game entirely, I want you to imagine you being able to report credit just like the banks do. See, today I'm breaking down exactly how to become a data furnisher, what it is, why it matters, and how you can register to start reporting payment just like the banks. All right, let's get into this, and I'll see you on the other side. All right. Listen, I feel like we finna cook up on this one. So becoming a data furnisher. This is really honestly one of the biggest keys to the credit funding, capital raising space. You know, I got a quick story. So while I was in federal prison, I started studying a lot of investors, George Soros, Warren Buffett, and like a number of other people. I started studying their investments and their investment portfolio. And it was something that I noticed that kind of started to stand out to me, especially when I started studying law. When I got into law, became a paralegal, and I found myself looking at some consistencies between investments and business models that they were doing, right? And an interesting find, I'm going to pull this up for you guys. I want you to see what I'm looking at here. All right, so I started looking at different companies, and then I found this particular law, 31 USC 5312. And I went down and I started looking at the definition of financial agency, but financial institution, this is the one that stood out to me the most. And I started looking at that versus the investments that a lot of these people are in. And, you know, maybe I'll bring up some charts or something like that, and I'll show you guys what I mean by what they're invested in. But an insured bank, FDIC insured bank, that I think that's obvious. We know that's a financial institution, a commercial bank or trust company, a private banker. How many of you knew that a private banker is considered to be a financial institution? Private bankers are people like myself. Oftentimes they call us commercial brokers in the business, but by definition, as you see, we're private bankers because private bankers represent the clients versus an institution, an agency or branch of a foreign bank in the United States. Any credit union, a thrift institution, a broker or dealer registered with the Securities Exchange Commission under the Securities Exchange Act, a broker or dealer in securities or commodities. So this is somebody that is not registered, but that is still a broker or a dealer in securities or commodities. I think that would qualify a lot of people. An investment banker or investment company. So if you have a holdings company, you have a private equity fund, a real estate fund, if you have a hedge fund, different things of that sort, those are all considered investment companies, and you are by definition a financial institution. A currency exchange or business engaged in the exchange of currency of funds. Issuer, redeemer, or cashier of traveler's checks, money orders, or similar instruments. Make sure we understand the definition of a financial instrument. An operator of a credit card system, credit card issuers, right? Insurance company. You know, one of the famous things that Warren Buffett owns is Geico. It's amazing. A dealer in precious metals, stones, and jewels, a pawnbroker, a loan or finance company. If you've seen some of his investments, Warren Buffett specifically, some of his investments, you notice that he is heavily invested into banks and financial institutions, a travel agency. I believe Pilot Flying J does their issue, redeemer, traveler's checks, money orders, and everything else like that. Again, another company that he owns. And again, like I said, I start looking at this and I'm saying to myself, sheesh, there's some consistency in what's going on here because it's just interesting. Business engaged in vehicle sales. So all of my people out there with car dealerships, you are a financial institution, used or new, including automobile, airplane, and boat sales. Persons involved in real estate closings, all of my realtors, real estate agents, real estate brokers, mortgage lenders, loan officers, and anyone involved in the whole process of closing a deal. You are a financial institution. The United States Postal Service. Persons involved in real estate closings. Let me go back to that real quick, because again, there's some consistency in the strategy. A casino, gambling casino. So again, I mentioned in another video that everyone that's in Las Vegas, all these casinos, they are financial institutions. And this is what I mean by that. And I'm not going to really go into monetary instruments, but again, it's definitely something you guys should look at. So make sure you go back to 31 USC 5312 to study that a little bit more. But let me get back into power of data furnishing. What you're reporting is transaction history. You're reporting payment history. You're reporting the utilization. You're reporting the performance of a contract, right? If you have a private car dealership, then you have the power to report. One, because of the license things, but anyone who's ever seen a buy here, pay here dealership, you kind of can already get an understanding of that's what this is, right? You can sign a contract with your customer. They're going to perform and make payments on certain dates and certain schedules. And as long as the performance continues to go well, you can report that performance. You can report the entire size of the contract. And again, as you see, not every financial institution is required to be licensed. So that's why I wanted to show you guys that first. Who can become data furnisher? Businesses that extend credit to customers, period. If you extend credit to a customer, trade lines, loans, subscriptions. If you extend some type of credit, you allow someone to do something, they pay you later in the date. So who could become a financial institution? Well, you could be running a clothing store. And if you decide to start extending credit based on the value of the product, you're now a financial institution. You now can start reporting credit, right? I want to break this stuff down today. Now, this is not about consumer reporting. There's a different requirement for that to qualify. I am specifically talking to my people that want to report business trade lines, right? Companies that finance their own products and services. In-house financing. If you're financing your own products or services, there's a value of those products and services, which means coupled over time, accompanied with an interest rate, you can put an overall contractual value together and you can create contractual obligation, this performance. Lenders, leasing firms. So if you want to sublease or lease out something, if you're leasing out an apartment to another business, then you can report the payments to that apartment, right? Subscription-based businesses, blah, blah, blah. Let me explain why this is such a power move. You are the one that is helping people build business credibility. And by you doing the reporting to the credit reporting agencies, you stand amongst a group of very few people out here, okay? There's a whole community of people that really have got this down pat, and they are balling out of control because of it. But again, you got to keep in mind, the ability to report credit essentially is the ability to print money. Our entire financial system is hedged against data furnishing and credit reporting. It's time for not only my community, but the great huge community of people to wake the hell up. We have full control over everything that we want to obtain and everything that we want to do if we organize ourselves to start being able to do things just like this. I'm not the only one in this space, and I'm not the only one who knows this information, but it's time that the average person is starting to realize that our whole credit system is hinged upon what someone else is reporting about you. You can create a new revenue stream. Businesses will pay for the ability to build credit with you. It's an amazing revenue stream. I'm doing it right now myself. You understand? Help clients and customers build up their business credit while paying you, right? Again, there's a lot of leverage in the data furnishing game and the credit reporting game. Who does the data furnishing or the credit reporting? Let me give you some examples of a couple of data furnishers. Business loan providers. They report loan repayment history. Equipment leasing companies. Subscription-based services. And that's just to name a few. Auto dealerships. If you have a long-term rental of an apartment or a home and you choose to do corporate leasing as well, these are the people that can report. Now, what are some licensing and compliance requirements? Here's why having a license helps. It's not mandatory, but it definitely helps in this case. Sometimes having a state issued for finance, lending, or collection agencies really improves your chances of being able to report. And those are some of the things that the major bureaus are going to be looking for. If you say you're a collection agency, they want to see your license. If you say that you are an auto lender, or if you do auto loans, then they want to see your license as a dealership. If you are a furniture company, well, they might just want to see your business license at that point. If you're a furniture store, there's no real licensing saying that you need to have a professional license to do those type of things, but licensing no less. Right? Having those licenses in place will definitely greatly improve your chances to getting set up and getting approved from the credit bureaus so you can do credit reporting. The real question is, do you need a license? Short answer, no, but it definitely helps improve your odds. Again, according to 31 USC 5312, a financial institution includes any business that extends credit or finance, which means even vendor credit or trade lines can qualify to set up correctly. So if you really want to get into the financial trade lines, then you're going to want to go after the license. If you want to just be able to report vendor credit, vendor trade lines on behalf of businesses and make some additional monthly revenue, especially if you're in the credit game, then probably want to set this up and add that additional thing to your business model. All right. So how to register yourself as a data furnisher? Well, let's go over this step by step. Step 1, get your business funding ready. You must have an established registered business, LLC corporation, blah, blah, blah. blah. I have a separate video of how to set yourself up and completely you're ready for funding. Your business should have an EIN, DUNS number, active bank account, and ensure your company has an actual credit relationship with customers. Here's the beautiful thing about business customer relationships is, I mean, you got to think to yourself, like, why do these people, these billionaires, why do they have tens of thousands of companies? Did they actually buy every single one of those companies? Probably not. But is there a purpose for each one of those companies? Probably so. Step 2, choose where and what to report. All right. Choose where, meaning which business credit bureau do you want to report at, and choose what you want to report. Like, do you want to report vendor trade lines? Do you want to report subscriptions? Do you want to report a financial account? Do you want to set up a credit card service or what have you, a charge card, credit builder accounts or something like that to report? That becomes the next thing. Where and what? If you want to go to Dun & Bradstreet, you're going to apply for their trade exchange program. It's best for vendor trade reporting, but again, their trade exchange program is one of the ways to set up with Dun & Bradstreet. Experian Business. You're going to register for the Experian Trade Reporting Program. These are all trade accounts, right? Vendors and financial, but they're all trade accounts. So Experian Business, you're going to register with the Experian Trade Reporting Program. Equifax, you want to apply for the Commercial Data Furnishing Program. They have the Consumer Data Furnishing Program, but they also have the commercial. This one bureau reports or shares information with just about everybody. For larger lenders and financial institutions only, if you're doing volume, and each one of these companies have their criteria, I will go into that on a consultation if you guys want to speak to me about the exact how-to. But for the most part, I am exposing to you, these are the steps that you want to go after. All right. Step 3 is the application and compliance process. Application and compliance. Each bureau requires an application and approval process. This is their company. They can accept whoever's information that they see fit. So you do have to still apply and get approved. But again, you can create as many businesses that you like and try to apply for all of them to report. You can literally create an entire business model just off of reporting credit. You must show proof of extending credit. So the way you're going to show proof of the credit that you're extending is going to be financing agreements like loans, leases, invoices. If you have an invoice and it's like a net 30 invoice, or if it's a net 60, net 90 invoice, or just simply contracts, you're going to want to have those things ready to go before you apply. Make sure you organize all that stuff before you apply, get those agreements and everything in place, because they're going to want you to send over some examples of some actual live contracts that you currently have with customers. Must report regularly. They want you to report monthly, no later than quarterly for business trade lines. So on the business side, Metro 2 is not necessarily the compliance all the time, but Metro 2 is still used for the most part for the actual data furnishing. So get yourself a good Metro 2 software and then obviously take some trainings. I will have some additional videos as I put this stuff together for you guys that'll give you some deeper understanding and deeper training when it comes to this data furnishing game. Because again, I believe that more of us should know about this and more of us should be applying this to our everyday lives, especially for the entrepreneurs inside of our communities. The benefits of being a data furnisher. Just extra stream of revenue. I don't even understand why anybody wouldn't want to make this extra money, especially those of you that are in the credit space. My private bankers, those people that are out there, I want you guys to take a hard look at data furnishing. We have a lot more control over our finances than we give ourselves credit to be. More of us can be jewelry stores. More of us can be furniture stores. More of us can have car dealerships. More of us can actually have our own mortgage companies. And we can all report credit as a community. Imagine that. We actually are reporting credit as a damn community. How powerful financially we could be. Boost business credibility. Again, look, you guys are going to be able to help people boost themselves and their businesses, and we would be operating as an ecosystem. I call it a financial ecosystem. It's something that myself, my colleagues, partners, and everybody that we're all working on building out ourselves. But I welcome all of you to join in building up this financial ecosystem with me as well. But yeah, you boost business credibility, and then it attracts higher quality clients. To keep it all the way a buck with you. When you have somebody that actually understands the value of leveraging great credit and the access to capital that it provides to you and the ability to raise and to attract, and even if you're charging a fee to do the reporting, and it's not necessarily a fee to report, but you're charging a fee for your service or your goods, and you report that information and they see the value in that, yeah, I mean, you could start attracting like higher ticket clients for sure. If you offer financing, subscriptions, or vendor credit, becoming a data furnisher can separate you from the competition. It could definitely separate you from everybody else, man. Don't play yourself, man. Treat yourself. You know what I mean? Listen, if you want to take your business to the next level, if you really want to get it and scale it, and you want to get outside of the rigmaroles, the runabout stuff, this is one of the options. This has nothing to do with your business model. This has everything to do with adding value to what you currently have. Everybody wants to be able to add value, and I don't care if it was a million of us that were out here reporting, that's still not enough. You hear what I'm saying? It's still not enough. This is how you take control of the credit game entirely. All the credit repair stuff, that stuff is nothing compared to the ability to report credit. And you guys can start strictly on the business side, and you'd be surprised. You're going to be shocked at how much capital you can start to unlock just doing that and that alone. All right. I appreciate you guys. That is my time. Hopefully you got some value out of it. If this is your first time watching me or watching anything about this page, then, take some time to subscribe to your boy. Like, share, subscribe. I really want to see you guys continue to grow and build with us. And I want to be able to deliver as much great information, content, strategy, and game and sauce as I possibly can. And if you guys have any other questions or comments that you want to make about being a data furnisher or even some of your own experiences, I definitely want to hear about it. And I want to connect with you. I want to put this ecosystem together. Let's build. It's your boy, Mr. Mogul Maker, and I will see you on the other side.